So you finally have an opportunity to move. Maybe it's a new job, a new school, or just a fresh start in a new city. But now you're wondering, what should I do first? Should I start packing? Should I give notice? Where do I even begin? Don't worry, I've been there. And in this video, I'll walk you through practical steps to help you move smoothly and stress-free. Plus, a bonus tip at the end that most people forget until it's too late. So let's get right into it. Hi guys, and welcome back. My name is Nene for those of you that are new here. I know it's been a while. See, a lot has happened. And one of the things that happened is one of the things I'll be sharing here, which is that we made a major move this year. So we moved from the Midlands to the South. And this is not even our final destination, right? So there will be another move. I'm making this video because these are some of the things I wish I knew before we made our first move in February. And I hope it will be helpful for anyone that is making a move in the UK. So if you're changing cities, if you're changing houses, this is where you want to be. Because this will be my major checklist now when we have to move. First of all, big hug. Because moving is a lot of work. It's actually a lot of work. But you've got this, okay? And hopefully my video would help you navigate all of the things that you need to know. But while I list out most of the things I have on my checklist, I think I have about 6 of them. I do have a bonus tip that I feel like a lot of people keep missing out and forgetting. And I'll talk about it at the end of this video. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you want to do is to go back to your tenancy agreement. Take a look, review your current contract and look out for things that you would miss out for when you have to leave the house. And one thing you want to be looking out for is your notice period. How much notice period should you give your landlord or whoever you're renting from? Now, I know there's a general 1 month period, but you need to be very sure. You want to look at your contract. And I say this because the previous house that we stayed at is a month. However, this house is 2 months where we currently stay, and it's written in the contract. Now imagine if we went on to assume that it's a month again, we're going to start facing the implication of assuming that it's 1 month, right? So you want to be very sure. I do know that there are different types of tenancy agreements. Now I'm not speaking for the ones on a contract. I'm talking of the ones that are on a rolling basis, because you're paying your rent every month. You can tell when you want to stop and when you want to leave the house. Also, there's a way to calculate the 1 month notice period. It's not 1 month from any time you like. You have to give the notice before you pay the rent of a particular month. And I'm going to give you a typical example so that I don't confuse anyone. Say you're moving out in December 2025 and you pay your rent every 21st of the month. Now, your notice period, imagine it's a month. You have to give notice for leaving the house before the 21st of November. That is a proper way to give your notice of leaving the house in a month. If it's 2 months, you have to give it before the 21st of October. And this is very important because if you miss that mark, like the day that you're paying your rent, you would have to pay another rent because you didn't give adequate notice period. So this is very, 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 very important, guys, okay? So the second thing that I have on my list is for you to start searching for a house. Now, this is not number 2 per se, because I feel like this should be going simultaneously as you review your contract and, knowing when your notice period should be. But looking for a house would be specific to you. What are the things that matter to you? Take note of transportation links, take note of the neighborhood, safety. Are you about to start a family? Do you want a 1 bedroom? Do you want a 3 bedroom? Make sure to take note of the APC rating, the council tax, just major things that you need to know that would help you make a more informed decision. Now, there are different platforms to look for houses. And 2 major ones that I personally use is Rightmove and On the Market. There are other ones, however, most times they're pretty much same houses on all of these sites. But you want to be very sure and you want to start searching early so that you can start requesting to view and so that you can just have that lockdown. It is a lot of work looking for houses and it will pay if you start searching early. One thing to note is if you're moving from one city to another, it might be difficult for you to view the house. So what you want to look for are people that might be able to view for you. And honestly, there are people that are happy to do that. And shout out to them because that's really sweet of them, yeah? But you want to take note of all these things. If you have to make arrangements to go there for viewing, then make those arrangements. One thing I would recommend is calling these agents, because sometimes when you do the request for viewing online, they take their time to get back to you. And the way houses are moving, you'd be wondering that why are people moving like this, yeah? So you want to start early and you want to start calling them, viewing early, and just know the house that you want to take early enough, right? Because there are other checks that would happen. There's an entire process to even getting the house locked down. So you want to start the process early. I've said early several times, but yeah, start early, okay? So the next thing you want to look out for are movers. You want to start to compare your quotes early. I would recommend getting at least 3 movers so that you can start comparing quotes. Some of them charge per time, some charge per load. Some you just need to type in the amount of items that you're moving and then they would come up with a quote for you. Some via WhatsApp. They have like different ways they do their things. But I would say it is possible to get one within your budget, because I know moving can be really expensive. And also discern the one that will not stress you, honestly. Just be sensitive to the way that they're already communicating with you, and then you would know who to go with. Where can you find these movers? You can find them online. You can just Google, thanks to Google My Business. Some of all these van moving companies around you would come up, and then you start to reach out to them and start to compare quotes and just get all of that ready for whenever it's time to finalize with them. Doing it early will also help you to be organized. You know, now you have a budget, now you have options, you're less stressed, because again, moving is a lot of work, okay? So you want to just take things easy and just start doing things early so you can get some things out of the way. Okay. Another thing you want to do while you're moving out is repairing and fixing things. Tidy up the entire place. Now, this is very major if you want your deposit back. You don't want to be speaking grammar. You don't want that. One thing to use is your inventory list. I'm sure you got an inventory or a checklist when you're moving into that house. Very important. Maybe I'll do another video for when you have to move into a new house. But yeah, there should be like an inventory list or a checklist. And then you can use that checklist to see what was already in the house and the damage that was already in that house, and compare it with the damage that you probably made in the house. So if it's painting, you want to paint using the right paint. If it's fixing the lights, all these things, just get that done and get it sorted as soon as possible. So guys, before we continue with your original video, I can't believe I even omitted this, but it kind of goes without saying, and it would be to get the right packing supplies and start packing early. I know I've said early a number of times, so let me tell you guys a story. When we moved earlier this year, we had the audacity to still sleep in a day before our move date. So we're moving on a Saturday. Friday night, we still had our bed up because we wanted to sleep well that night now. And we still had a couple of things, especially the items in the kitchen, like the microwave, all the things we used the night before. We still had them up. We had the audacity to sleep till 6 a.m. And then our mover was around at 8 a.m. Gosh, it was hectic. The rush. No. You don't even want to start your day like that. So every time you've heard me say early, at least a month before your move date. That's what I mean. Most of all these things, get them sorted. For packing, start with the non-essentials, the things that you're not using every day. Put them in already a month before your move date, like picture frames, decorations, just things that you really don't use on your, day-to-day living. And of course, you need the right tools for the job. So you need like different types of tapes, like the clear sellotape for the general sealing. You need the duct tape for a stronger hold on heavier items or boxes. You also need a bubble wrap to protect like fragile items. Very essential. You need that. You need boxes in different sizes. I hear that there are some places where you can rent boxes, so you want to explore that if you don't want to buy new boxes. Or you can just recycle boxes. So you're moving very soon, you might as well just keep those boxes from Amazon and other shopping websites. I got my boxes from Direct Global Trading. So this is not an ad, but I found them on a discount and the boxes came right in time, in good condition. It even came with an extra fragile tip. And yeah, I thought that was really thoughtful. You also want to consider getting like mattress covers so you don't stain your mattress in the process of moving. Also, there are some industrial cling film that you can use on your sofas, and of course good old scissors. You need that because you're going to be cutting a lot of things. So get all that ready and start packing. Okay, so the next thing on my list is for you not to forget to clear out your bills. Don't forget to settle your final bills, be it water, be it energy, council tax. Remember to contact your providers for like your internet. Take your final meter readings as proof, you know, all what you need to do as regarding bills in that current house, because again, you are moving. Now we are down to my bonus point, and this one is very, very popular, but I guess people tend to forget it in all of the giddy 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 giddy. Do not forget to vacuum, guys. That's like the last thing that you should even put in the van. Your vacuum cleaner should be the last thing that will get into the van, because imagine you pack it and then you now have to vacuum the house. So put that vacuum cleaner in one corner, pack all of your boxes in the living area, and then when you move everything to the van, that's the last thing you want to do. Do a quick sweep around the house so that you're just leaving it neat. It's just better to leave the place looking tidy, okay? So when you do that quick sweep, do not forget to take a video of everywhere in the house, all of the rooms. Just do all that to avoid stress and just have that in your records so that when something comes up, you know, you have proof. And you know that, no, I left this house looking like this. So this one that people are saying, it's not me. Do you get it? Thank you guys for staying to the end of this video. That is my entire checklist for a stress-free move from one house to another or one city to another. And if you have made a move recently, please share your best tip in the comment section or anything that you feel like I missed out on this checklist, okay? If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share this with your friends that are making that move, okay? And until next time, see ya.